and we will be talking about 3 different instruments on our PTips analysis today, where we're going to deconstruct the analysis from PTips, okay, powered by PT. Okay, guys, thank you for coming on, right? And let's get through with the disclaimer and get on to the most exciting stuff. So Forex trading is traded with margin, okay? And margin trading is considered a high-risk trading instrument, okay? Now, it may not be suitable for everyone. So what we're doing here in PTips is that we're providing a deconstruction of the analysis that is provided by the professionals that have provided us the analysis, okay? Now, basically, with all of the PTips that we're showcasing here, we are not providing any signal, okay? So just a kind reminder that we're not providing signals here, but we are actually just deconstructing the analysis, and hopefully this will be very useful and helpful on your own analysis. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with EURUSD. Okay, guys, so I don't know why it's so laggy. Maybe because I'm recording on. Let's see. Okay, perfect. All right, EURUSD, D1. Okay, we're always going to start off with D1, okay? There's a reason to it. Okay. Just this. Perfect. Probably better. All right. So with D1, okay, we could get the overview of the whole trend in your direction. So let's take a look. So EURUSD right now on PTips, what does it have to stay for? RSI is below 50, okay? So when RSI is below 50, usually that's when most people are going to start selling. Now, let's quickly take a look at where the prices are. The price is currently on the lower bands of the Duo-Bollinger Band. Okay, so with that being said, usually this is more of a bearish sign, but take a look at where the Bollinger Bands are pointing. It's pointing upwards. So this is basically just mixed messages, okay? We're in a mixed message, then what do? Well, let's quickly take a look. We should jot out basically a trend, a potential trend. Well, right over here, this is what we're going to do. We're jotting out a channel, okay? So what type of channel do we see here, guys? If everything is going up, it's basically a bullish channel. So now I know my main direction right now. My RSI is below 50, okay? So basically, maybe a lot of people may be expecting that the prices are going to continue to drop, okay? But at least I know that I'm still in a bullish channel. So my extreme levels of a support should be at the lower end of my bullish trend line over here, okay? Obviously, my Bollinger Bands are going to be my take profit or stop loss 1, stop loss 2, take profit 2, yada, yada, okay? All right, so what would I do? I would just want to trade within the trend, okay? All right, but there's no clear direction right now. If anything, I would probably be trading in between the 1.0 deviation band. So if I know I'm in a bullish direction right now, but RSI is below 50, I'm not going to really risk too much. But if I do want to do a trade, I may want to enter into a trade of a buy and then utilize my MA20 as my take profit, okay, potentially. All right. Now let's take a look at H4. Let's drop down the time frame to 4 hours. Okay, so H4. H4 right now. Hope it's clear for all of you guys. Not clear over. Well, listen to me. All right. So H4 right now, this is how the setup is. The RSI is below 50, okay? And then, technically speaking, look at this. We got something quite interesting. Remember, I did say I'll always want to trade within the channel. Well, right now, from what I'm seeing, is that within the lower time frame period, we're looking at a bearish channel, okay? Now, the bearish channel, this type of setup is a bear setup. So take a look. Prices in between the lower bands, and then also the RSI below 50, okay, and then we have a bearish channel. This is basically a confirmation to do a sell. Okay, that's pretty cool. But of course, we don't really know, the risk, in between. But the sell is the higher probability right now. Of course, we already know that the lowest spectrum for any potential sell would probably have to be our support line here from D1. Okay, let's take a look at H1. All right, H1 further confirms basically this bearish channel. Okay, it confirms more bearish channel, but it actually is more of a ranging market from what I'm seeing right now. Okay, you see H1 is more of a ranging market. Here, I'm going to dot it out for you, and you can take a look. You see, it's ranging in between the support and resistance right here. Okay, RSI is below 50. And then with that being said, what I would usually trade with is I'll trade within the 1.0 deviation band. What that means is that if it's within the lower spectrum, I'm going to place a buy. And then once the prices go above my MA20, then I'm going to enter into my take profit area, which potentially I can exit my trade with a profit. Okay, so that's basically how I may target. Okay, with trades that are within the 1.0 deviation band. All right, let's move on to the next instrument. Our next product, silver. Okay, same thing. We're going to start off with D1 on silver. Okay, so let's drop the silver there. Okay, so silver, this is silver. Silver, RSI is below 50. The prices are right now between the lower bands. This type of setup is more of a bearish setup. Okay, so let's see. Any potential channels I can draw out? Well, it's sort of still more on a bearish side of things, okay? Because the high prices are getting lower and lower. So technically speaking, that's more of like a bearish trend. Okay, so based on D1, potentially we could trade with this type of setup where the prices are in the lower bands and sell, and RSI is below 50. So that further confirms that potential sell is in place. Now, just a reminder, we're not providing any signals here, okay? This is all just for educational purposes and entertainment purposes only by deconstructing PTips analysis. Let's drop it to H4, see if we get any more new information. Well, it's totally different from V1. RSI is above 50, okay? And the Bollinger Bands, it's basically the prices are on top of the top bands. Okay, so when prices are in between the top bands, that's more of a confirmation of potential bullishness, along with RSI being on the higher spectrum, okay, which is above 50. Bull. The funniest thing, D1 is telling us to enter into a sell, while H4, potential bullishness. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. All right, that was a previous trend line. These were previous channel. So we were in a bearish channel, okay? And then now obviously the bear has broken. The prices have broken above. So within the H4, it technically seems like it may be a new trend that's occurring. So from our guess is that maybe, just maybe, it's going to try to target the MA20. But as long as the price can still maintain below MA20, then it's still more on the bearish side of things on D1. Okay, drop it back to H4. Basically, right now we do see it broke above the bearish channel, so potentially more bullishness is going to occur. Okay, let's take a look at D1. Sorry, H1. H1. So this is 1 hour. Let's see. 1 hour. Yeah, so pullback is to happen. Why? Because RSI just is at the overbought zone. So when it's at an overbought zone, it basically means that the prices may be turning back down. Okay, there's going to be more sellers. Now, let's see. Price is right now in between the 1.0 deviation bands. It's still above MA20. I would still see this as more bullish. Okay, I would still see this as more bullish. So if anything, since it's above MA20, we can still go based on the H4 trades and then place a buy. Should be okay. But of course, you may want to exit your buy if prices do reach lower than the H1's MA20. Okay. All right. For more how to like trade setup and stuff like that, we can actually have a more in-depth training, which we do actually provide from the trading academy that we have now. Anyways, for more information on how to join that, you can ask the account manager to connect you. All right, cool. So we're done with silver. It seems like silver overall, it's more bearish right now. Okay, but of course on H4 it's getting mixed information. Bearish channel broken. H1 same thing. So more bullishness. Okay, so trade with care. Okay, short term maybe you would want to do a buy. Okay, but make sure your stop losses are set properly, so then you're limiting your risk. Okay. Okay, most important one, which is gold, right? Everyone wants to take a look at gold. Oh, let me just delete everything and let's start anew. Okay, so for gold, let's start with D1, okay? So gold right now, what we're looking at is lower prices are getting higher and higher. Great. Okay. Right, so highs are getting higher and higher. We are seeing a potential bullish channel on D1. Okay, for gold. Great. So RSI is above 50, so more bullishness. That's great. Price right now is in between the 1.0 deviation band and it's above MA20, potentially still more bullishness. Great. Let's take a look at H4. Okay. H4. RSI is above 50, so that's further confirmation of more bulls, which is great. Now, prices are within the top bands of the 1.0 of the Duo-Bollinger Band, so that further confirms more bullishness. Okay, with more bullishness in place, it's basically confirming our potential bull run. Okay. All right, so now let's take a look at H1 for gold. H1 for gold, RSI just came back down from overbought. Okay, so potentially there's going to be some pullback that may be happening. Okay, so yeah, maybe a short-term time frame where prices are going to try to reach down to the MA20 on H1 here. Now the Duo-Bollinger Bands, let's see, Duo-Bollinger Bands, prices are reaching within the 1.0 deviation band. So like I said, there's a high chance it's going to try to target the MA20, which is the middle line of the Bollinger Bands. So be careful of that. Great. So overall, from what I'm seeing is that if I were to place a trade, now remember, I'm not providing any signals here, okay? This is just my opinion. On gold, if we were to actually make any potential trades, from D1 is confirming the bullishness. So I technically would be trading on D1. I would just enter into a buy, okay? Now, of course, how I would be exiting is this. If today I enter into a buy and then price actually drops in below my MA20. So for example, on H1 here, okay, if prices break below my MA20, which is 2,405, okay, so 2405.6. If prices, drop below that zone, then I may want to exit my trade of my buy, okay? And then I'll have to restart and see how I'm going to recalibrate my trades. Okay. If anything, a tip for all of you, trade within a channel. Okay. If the channel is bull, the priority is to try to see if you can enter into a buy. if the overall channel is a sell, sorry, is a bear, then what you would want to try to do is probably trade within um, placing as a priority of a sell for a bear channel. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for all my time here on PTips today. So just a reminder, every Monday and Wednesdays, okay, during the London session, that's when we're going to be live with the PTips analysis, where we do constructive trading and provide a secondary opinion on how we're going to approach the trades. Now, obviously, every single day from Monday to Fridays, okay, on PT FinTech social media, we have the PTips free on silver, on gold, silver, and Euro USD. So follow us so you can actually always be reminded of our latest posts of the PTips, and of course other promotions as well. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with me today. So I'll see you next week on Monday, same time. Bye-bye.